Hey friends, let's get into it. Okay, so I'm using the Tatcha Silk Canvas Primer. I use it with my hands, so I just push it into my face. And then I go in with the Estee Lauder Double Wear Foundation. Since this foundation is a little bit on the thicker side, I like to cut it with a little bit of face oil just to sheer out the product. My skin type is more combo dry, so I find that adding a face oil not only does it add hydration, but it'll be better for both the center of my face where I get more oily and then the perimeter of my face where it's more normal to dry.
So now I'm going in with the NYX Can't Stop Won't Stop Concealer in True Beige. Because I have no hair, my features tend to look more pronounced, so I am quite liberal with my concealer because I like to have a very pronounced cheekbone and under eye area, otherwise I straight up look like an egg.
So this is where my makeup gets a little bit redundant. I use a liquid illuminator on the high points of my cheekbones, a little bit on my cupid's bow and down my chin, and then I go ahead and I cover it all up. I don't know why I do this stuff. I've been doing it for years and it's just the most redundant thing, but I use the Patrick Star powder because she's a little bit bougie, right underneath my eyes, covering up everything, all the shine. Everything that I've worked for the past minute and a half. Okay, and I think this is the part that everyone's basically been waiting for. How I do my eyebrows. I have naturally really thin eyebrows that tend to point downwards, and I'm more partial to a editorial brow. So I actually use spiking glue hair gel. Basically what it's made for is to keep mohawks up. So I'm like, if it can keep mohawks up, it can keep my eyebrows up. So I go in with that with an eyelash comb. I just run the product through, and then I take the handle of the brush and I just flatten the hairs down to my face. So the pro is that like it looks super fluffy, it looks spiked up. However, the con is that it's very flush to your face. So from certain angles and photos, it might look a little bit strange. But I do that, and then I go in with an angled brush and a pomade. I go over the brows after it dried up. If you do it before the glue dries, it tends to get all gunked up together, and I don't think anybody wants that. So I tend to be quite liberal with my pomade, so I take a paddle brush. I like it for the dome shape, so since I don't have the ends of my eyebrows, I kind of have to fake the arch. And I take a little bit of concealer and just run that under just to clean up the bottom. And after, I either blend it out with a beauty blender or just my finger.
So for my smoky eyes, I tend to always use a base. So for red, I'm using a liquid lipstick. This is the Sugarpill liquid lipstick in Nurse. It's just your classic blue toned red, which makes any other red eyeshadow look more true to its color rather than leaning too pink or too orange. So now I'm using a clean blending brush. This one's from NYX. It's personally one of my favorites. I think I have 10 in my collection. And I am just buffing away the edges of the liquid lipstick before it sets. Now taking the eyeshadow in Love Plus, it's a Sugarpill eyeshadow, one of my personal favorites because it's one of the truest reds that I have in my collection. I am going ahead and just layering on top of the place that I buffed in the liquid lipstick. Oh god, this is... I hope you understand what I'm saying. I think I'm understanding what I'm saying. I am now taking a smaller brush and just putting the Love Plus underneath my eyes. You can always put lipstick, the liquid lipstick underneath your eyes as well. However, I totally forgot. So it's just a lot of layering from there. And what I'm doing now is I am going to take the Lime Crime Venus 1 palette, which is the iconic red palette, taking the shade Muse, and with the same brush, I am going underneath where I put the Love Plus. So now we're starting from the top and we're just slowly making our way down to the lash line. So one of my tricks that I do to get a seamless, unclockable blend, as some people would say, is that I take my setting powder, so I use the Patrick powder, with a blending brush. This one's the same one because I'm really fucking lazy. And I go over the edges. What that'll do is that'll just, in my mind, I think it just blends my foundation shade or like my setting powder shade to the red and create a shade all by itself. Now I'm taking the INGLOT kohl pencil in 01, which is the standard black, and I am etching out the shape of, or attempting to, of my cut crease. After I'm done etching out the shape, I buff out the kohl pencil with just a bullet brush. I personally really like this pencil because you have a little bit of playtime, probably like a couple of seconds, but once it sets for good. And after that, I take the brush that I used for my lower lash line and I go in with Sugarpill eyeshadow in Bulletproof, and that will just help blend out the black. So the reason why this voiceover portion takes so long is because Latte likes to hang out and make a lot of noise. Do you have anything to say, Latte? For the fans out there? Oh, okay. Okay, goodbye. So you can see that I mixed a little bit of the gel eyeliner and concealer to the back of my hand. I love the gel eyeliner, however I find it's a little bit on the thicker side, so cutting it with concealer will just make it more emollient. I take the paddle brush, which I used for underneath my eyebrows, and my trick for a cut crease is that I completely fake the shape. So I go a lot higher than my natural creases because on one eye I have a monolid and on the other eye I just have a double eyelid. So going above both of those shapes and creating my own will make the crease look more even. Now I'm taking the Sugarpill shadow in Taco, which is just your standard matte white, with the brush that I used to cut the crease. Oh God. The more I talk, the more lazy I sound, but I just throw that in my inner crease, oh my gosh, my inner corner, just to, you know, set the concealer eyeliner combo a little bit. Then I take that blending brush and I go in with Love Plus, and now essentially how I started from like the Love Plus to the Muse shade to the darker brown to the black, I'm doing that not horizontally now, but oh wait, no, scratch that, not vertically now, but horizontally. So I'm taking the Love Plus and then I'm going in with Muse and then Icon and then the black. So now is the most stressful part of any makeup look, or my makeup look, is the liner. I use the NYX matte liquid liner. I have been for years and it's one of my tried and trues. I start with the outer edge first and then I kind of like work my way into the corner. Again, since I have uneven eyelids, I just go for a really fat ass wing and then I just hope for the best. Go in with a contour palette, proceed to make the dumbest face on planet Earth, and I just like to hit it in where the hollow of my cheek is, I guess like the dimple-ish area. I mix my contour shade with a little bit of my setting powder too, just to sheer it all out. I always say it's easier to put more makeup on than to take it away. And this is how I do my nose highlight. I always do my highlight first. So I go a little haphazard with it. I tend to just make an exclamation point or a skinny penis or whatever shape you like. And then I taper it in and then I make it more straight with my contour shade. I used to do the whole contour and then nose highlight, but I found it just didn't get the straight line that I really wanted. So now I am taking a really loose powder brush. I think originally it was made to like kick bake off your face, but I really like it for highlight because it just diffuses everything on my face, especially if it's a more intense highlight. I'm using the Couture Diamond Glow powder in Conceited. Honestly, I have no idea why I have so many clips of me applying this highlight for the thumbnail, I guess. I honestly, truly have no idea. But again, I like to go in little baby steps rather than applying a huge honking amount of highlighter all at one time. Then I go in with the NYX Cosmetics Eyebrow Marker in Deep to do my beauty marks / freckles. I just kind of go over where I had past acne breakouts to ensure that it looks as natural as possible, or the placement does. I use the MAC Cosmetics lip liner in Hover. I tend to switch out the same 3 lip liners. It's either Hover, Strip Down, or Spice. What a poser. If you see me wear a nude shade, it's probably this shade. It's the INGLOT HD Lip Tint in 48. It's just your standard brown. I like to go right in the middle and then I tap it out with my ring finger. Yeah, this is my favorite nude. It works with my skin tone so perfectly, I think. And then I just hit my face with a little bit of Milk Makeup Tattoo Stamp and Heart. I'm too scared to have a face tattoo, so might as well do that. And that's it. I did it. We did it. The whole community did it. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys later. Goodbye.